Alright, so I recently completed every contract in Team Fortress 2, and I really liked it for the most part anyway. Some are good and creative, and some are complete garbage like the Soda Popper contract. I'm going to talk about how the system works, my opinions on it, and some general advice for it across 3 parts. The Contractor System is kinda like the milestone achievements that give you items. Contracts reward you with a weapon, a cosmetic, or special blood money after completing the primary objective. A contract will have 3 objectives. 2 of them will be bonus objectives that give you extra points. And when all of them combine to over 100, you will have completed the primary objective of the contract. After completing a bonus objective a certain number of times, it will reward you with a star, 1 for each. After completing a primary objective, you will get the promised reward alongside the star, and a path will open up to the next contract. The Pyroland Contract is completely free, but the Mercenary Park one is going to cost around $2.50. If you don't already have the Pyroland Contract activated, you can activate it by pressing F2 and then selecting the folder on the right. In the Mercenary Park contract, after getting 2,500 points, your contract will level up to bronze. After getting 5,000, it will level up to silver, and after getting 6,840, it will level up to australium. This can also be simplified as completing every contract. The blood money can be spent on war paints, specifically for weapons. When you use one, you will get a completely free weapon. Well, minus the $2.50 you spent to unlock the entire contract system. So if you want a rescue ranger, then you can actually get one by completing the contracts and spending blood money. You will also get some war paints for free doing the contracts without having to spend the blood money. It's worth noting you also can't get every single weapon with the war paints. Some are unavailable. For example, the only medigun you can get is the regular stock medigun. You will be unable to get Kritzkrieg, the Quick Fix, or the Vaccinator from the paints. I think the contract system is great, and Mercenary Park is definitely worth the $2.50. It only took a few months for me to complete it, so if you start like right now, you may even be able to complete it before the next major update. That is definitely gonna happen. Please. Some of the contracts were pretty cool, like the Gunslinger Contract. Rather than killing with the Gunslinger, your primary objective is actually to kill with your primary weapon. One of your bonus objectives was to kill with the mini sentry, and your other bonus objective was to use that critical hit, triple hit thing that no one ever bothers to use. And some were really terrible, like the Soda Popper contract that I got stuck on. That was the last one I completed, and I never want to do it again. But there are 2 types, I'm not talking about the Soda Popper one, there are 2 types of contracts that I don't think were executed very well. The first one is the 5 kill streak contract, and the second one is defend contract. Let's talk about the 5 kill streak contracts first. You see these on the Dragon's Fury, Mercenary World, the Advanced Class contracts, the Expert Class contracts, the Shotgun, the Flare Gun, the Flog, the Backscatter, the Wrangler, the Lock and Load, and the Brass Beast. The way I would fix these is to make it 3 kills instead of 5 to make them less frustrating. My next problem is in the map contracts, specifically the defend ones. All map contracts follow the same pattern except the Mercenary Park ones. Your primary objective is to score on the map, and your 2 bonus objectives are to defend the objective or capture the objective, and they're split up into 2 separate ones. My main issue is on Payload and Attack and Defense, where you have to hope that you get whatever you still have left. It's especially bad on Payload, because capturing the cart doesn't actually mean capture a point, but instead stand by the cart for a few seconds. This means you'll get the capture objective in no time at all, but it'll take forever to get to the defend objective, since the defend objective has around 20 points, and the capture has 15. So if you're on offense, then you won't be able to get the contract. The way I would fix this is to make them all the same as a Visit Mercenary World. The primary objective is score points. The first bonus objective is to capture or defend a point. And then the next bonus objective is win on the map. This would make it so that you could get both bonus objectives no matter what team you're on. Instead of hoping to get on defense, then putting a bunch of sticky bombs on the point and waiting for the free-to-play Gibus scout to jump on their crew without even thinking. Now I'm going to talk about some tips for the contract, specifically the weapon contracts, and spending the blood money. I'd highly recommend you buy everything in limited stock first, and then spend the rest on the generic civilian grade keyless crate that only takes 100 blood money. For the game mode and class contracts, just choose whatever you're best at or whatever you just feel like doing a lot. So if you really enjoy Payload, then maybe choose the Payload Contract. And if you're really good at Soldier, then choose the Soldier Contract. However, for weapons, you should not choose whatever class you're good at, especially if you play Scout. The Soda Popper was almost like a trap. It seemed really easy. It didn't have any of the 5 kills in 1 life, and it didn't have the heal 100 health in 1 life that the black box had. Getting kills while triple jumping is really difficult, and you also have to do it with the Soda Popper. So just don't choose that contract. Instead, I'd recommend the black box. It seems like the easiest one to me. I wouldn't actually know since I tortured myself with the Soda Popper one. But for your next weapon, I'd recommend going with a direct hit, since its contract is a bit weird, but it's easy to pull off because of its weirdness. Hitting airborne enemies does not mean you have to hit them when you can mini-crit them. You can hit them when they jump and it'll count, and then mini-crit kill can be done with any rocket launcher, with the buff banner, or anything else that makes opponents take mini-crits. The first defend contract weapon is kind of preference. I went with the loose cannon. It wasn't that difficult. If you do go with the loose cannon, in order to get sticky grenade kills, you have to use stock. At least I'm pretty sure, because I remember trying to use the quickie bomb launcher and it wasn't working. For defense weapon 2, the lock and load and the brass beast are options, but they're pretty bad right now. I say right now because I feel like somebody in the future may end up yelling at me for being wrong, and sorry if in the future the brass beast is like the best weapon in the game. The Gunslinger does not have 5 killstreak contract, unlike the other 2, and it's actually a good weapon. I already talked about what it is before. For support weapons 1, you should absolutely choose the Dead Ringer, because it's just that easy. All you have to do is pull out the Dead Ringer and walk straight to the enemy team. And then they hit you, and then you get contract points. It's kind of dumb how easy it is. It also helped that I was in a game with a lot of heavy bots who were shooting me while I was invisible. Support Weapons 2 gives you the option between the Amputator, Girardi, and the Big Earner. The Big Earner bonus objectives are both killstreak, so I would not recommend doing that. The Amputator requires you to heal a lot of health really fast, and then the Girardi just keep throwing it at enemies. Hit 6 people with a bushwalker, they die, you get that one, and then just keep throwing at it and let your team do the work for these.